Hey! I'm so funny. Welcome back to Game Does Play Games. We are playing Battle Chef Brigade, and today you can watch Battle Chef Brigade and practice game design. You weren't sure where I was going to go with that one.
You started off like in your normal fashion and then gave the most unenthusiastic intro I think I've ever heard. If you folks came for professional Let's Plays,
Is there such a thing?
I mean, technically, anyone that makes money is professional.
I mean, yeah, but like, do any of them do it like professionally?
I mean, like, there's definitely like the archetypical Let's Player at this point, where it's like, if you behave in XYZ kinds of ways, you'll probably build a
Nintendo
channel that
audience.
will make money. So if we were like, smash that like button, I'm gonna overreact to everything in this game, and we'll see you next time, and you know, have all the episodes chopped up in this tiny little bit of highlights, and like, that's the modern Let's
If
Play.
that's what we need to do, why aren't we doing it?
Because
All right, we're scrapping the channel. We're starting over.
no.
Anyway, it's too quiet. Ack!
Sorry for the fright. I just like to make an entrance.
I just like to walk around and stalk the night. Because necromancer, ha 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 ha.
I love this line. I thought you were a monster.
You're not a part of C Squad.
Just checking on something that couldn't wait till morning. What's your excuse?
I actually volunteered for this shift. I want to do everything I can to fight the cause of this monster
No.
situation.
Not on the show. It's gross. Everyone's gonna hear you chewing
Let's
that.
have a practice duel soon. Two night owls like
He's eating a
us.
Starburst.
We can...
Okay.
Not a
yeah.
sponsor. He's just being a jerk. I'm gonna turn off his mic. I'm gonna laugh if that's the end of the dialogue, and now you have to talk. I can hear you chewing now. Hey, but it's a whole new day. What are we doing today, Nathan? Are we making more poison?
There has to be some way to figure out this monster problem. Thresh said he had a morning duel today, but I bet Kieran's at Belchior's.
I hate Starburst.
I need to get over there and see how I can help.
I don't see why. They never did anything to you.
Both for the same reason that your mouth is making those gross noises even though your mouth is closed. You can hear the like squishy, slimy, tacky but it's like it also sticks to my teeth.
I was being polite.
No, you were. That's why I didn't actually like get the rage response that I usually get when people chew with their mouth open.
Me and you talk way too much about how chewing with your mouth open bothers us.
It drives me crazy.
Like vividly makes us anger.
Well,
Makes us anger.
It's a legit thing.
I wouldn't be if you'd stop sneaking up on me.
Yeah.
And that's on theme for
So
this
about
game.
that match today. Let me know when you're ready.
What if one of the judges just like Max with their mouth open?
What if that's Thorn? Like Thorn is like this cool character, but everybody actually hates being with her because she chews with her mouth open.
I can believe it.
And like you're not gonna tell her to stop because she'll kill you.
Yeah, and she's got the right attitude to be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna chew with my mouth open. You all can deal with that.
Like I actually don't need to do this.
Yeah, I'm doing this because I know it makes you angry. You know, some people legitimately do that. Tony is one. But Tony also just chews with his mouth open.
Good morning, lad.
Delicious. It did make me wonder how many dishes I could make with just berries.
Puzzle time. Puzzle time.
Why, my faithful assistant. I was hoping you'd answer the brigade's call.
Really? But you had Kieran all this time.
What's the old adage? Too many cooks might spoil the broth, but many chefs make light work. The same is true for alchemy.
Alright.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is where things actually get challenging because you can, like, really fail.
I mean, there's one pretty simple answer right away with this one.
Is there?
Center, you just rotate 180.
Is there?
I would say so. Looks like it's set up to be that.
Unless... Yes. Aw. And you thought you were so cool.
Still not entirely wrong. I mean, like...
And then, what, we do this? And then now we're screwed.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes. Kapow. Alright, no, that's not what I meant to do. Reset. Alright. So, that's what it looks like when you fail, Chris.
Ah!
But, I mean, you're still right about that part, I think.
Oops. Whoops.
Boom.
Don't mind me just silencing my phone because Eddie's talking to me.
Eddie.
I missed what the answer was. Dang it.
Of course you did.
But I was still sort of right. Mostly right. Look, man, you made 2 extra moves for me, even though I didn't say it. But I probably would have made those moves too. So, I mean, like, who's really at fault here? No.
Do.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
this.
Most of these generally rely on
Shit.
mostly straightforward answers. So I think this is the first time that they're starting to set up things that look like obvious answers, and then they're not.
Right.
Which I think is good. I think that's actually a pretty clever way of structuring the more difficult challenges.
You start to learn, the reason these puzzles are important, or at least so I feel, is it kind of starts teaching you to build from the top down. Because so, do these, and this entire row is going to shift down. It makes it a little more unpredictable. Like, it's predictable, but it makes it a little harder to do on the spot. I guess in that regard, though. That was the answer. We'll do this. Oh, this.
There you go.
Shit. Alright, I can rotate this. Can't rotate that, so I've actually got it. It's a very unconventional way of doing this.
I mean, they don't dock you for the amount of moves you have to make, right?
Nope.
Which I think that's a really important distinction.
I'm pretty sure that's not how I solved it like the first time I did it. 2 bones.
I mean, it makes sense that there'd be more than one way to do it.
And 2 poison. I can't actually get... Well,
Do you think it would make sense to incorporate a system that, like, causes you to lose points if you make unnecessary moves?
I mean, I feel like that's what the broken gems actually do.
That's, I think, why I thought of it. But there still are cases where, you could
right
just
there.
kind of like... Oh, well then.
She's so swift with the knife.
I think I'm mostly on that side, though, where I don't think they should dock points for making unnecessary moves because there are other things that kind of sort of do that already.
Yeah. And, like, they weren't there initially, but once again, that's because we're still learning the mechanic.
Well, and especially if you consider that this is a time-focused game, that's your disincentive in the early game for making unnecessary moves is you just waste time.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty heavy disincentive.
Disincentive, yeah.
So I think that still holds. I don't think it needs further reinforcement. I think that just becomes punishing at that point.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was trying to say, like, technically it would, I guess,
So much progress.
it behooves you to build from the top down, right? So that your gems aren't moving out of a more unpredictable manner. But that actually wasn't the correct solution for that one. So I guess it's not training you to do that. So it does. That is a better way of doing it, is to build from the top down, that way all of your ducks are in a row at the top, and then you can work on your bottom pieces from there, rather than think you end up getting that weird triangle that you're seeing where things weren't going to line up correctly. You have to move at least 3 times in order to get things in the right position.
Plus, if you work from the bottom up, what happens is you get sort of an unpredictable pattern that sort of falls into place with all the gems above it.
Yeah.
You can make that work for you, but in most circumstances, that's going to leave a lot of your gems kind of scattered.
So, it was kind of weird. Like, I was trying to be like, oh yeah, look what they do. They teach you this. And then I was like, oh wait, I guess that's actually not the solution here.
I think the real answer with that is that they want you to consider it from both top down and bottom up.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
I think if that is the case, I think that's actually a good thing. I think that if every time it was better to go from bottom down or top down, you start to fall into repeated patterns of how you approach puzzle solving, and it sort of makes for a flat experience. Whereas if the rest of the game sort of keeps pushing you into looking at it in multiple ways, it creates a more dynamic experience where you're not relying on one. You're not always making the same like start move, you know.
Yeah. There's also another thing I realized that it did is that did teach us to move the pieces that weren't cracked. The what are they called? The bad taste gems or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, those like you learn to try to move those as little as possible while moving the regular. And the solution to that problem was just move around the ones that aren't broken as much as you can, and work around that. So I guess it still did kind of teach you how to deal with it, just in a different way than I expected.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
I do kind of wish that if you fed the birds different types of ingredients, they'd like poop out something different, or like a different kind of egg. But I guess like much like most of the things that I say on this playthrough, it's like it's just more work.
Yeah.
I'm sure the devs are like, yeah,
I mean, that would be great.
Like we'd need the funding for that. Like, yeah. Also, you blazed through that.
Yeah, there was only 5 things. Like, all it was like kill 5 things.
Walking kettle?
Why does everyone have such a hard time remembering you? I mean, I get that there's like 1,000 contestants, but I'm just like...
the old man at the inn remembers us. He just doesn't know what we are.
It hasn't been that long. Oh, it's this guy. I can recognize it based on the shape of his body and his little like bald head with the one like thing of hair.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's an anime thing.
100%.
You can't say that that's not.
I wasn't going to.
No, last recording session, or maybe this was 2 ago, you were like, well, it's not really that anime in its style of the game.
Okay, so one character has one little weird hair.
Reinforcement. It's matching the aesthetic. It's the anime aesthetic. I mean, call me out if you disagree.
What am I doing? Reaching.
All I'm saying is, it's further reinforcement. Hey guys, what are you doing together?
This guy's my first customer. I saw him selling pastries this morning, couldn't put him down.
Oh, bye. And with Simon's grains, they'll be even better. That's flour power, baby.
The dopey face. What was that word you kept using in Cuphead?
Doofy?
Doofy, yeah.
It's a pretty doofy face.
Awesome, I can't wait to try all the new sweets. Yes. Good.
He has like a mustache, but also a mustache tattoo. But like on his cheek. It's like a misplaced.
like it looks like a really weird green Mike Tyson tattoo.
I can kind of see that.
Ooh, we can challenge Ziggy.
Curious.
So are we just like back to normal challenges at this point?
Are we? Because for the first time in 10 years, the Crescent has decided not to open its doors to diners. We'll resume service as soon as all the staff members are briefed on the proper handling of mutated monster meat.
Alright. I mean, like, but we can just challenge people now, which I assumed we wouldn't be able to do until I guess, all this catastrophe was somewhat subsided, like, did we re-earn our
I think
entry?
specifically Ziggy, the whole point of the plot is Ziggy, like, wants us to challenge him for practice.
Oh.
Not practice, but he's like, I have something to show you.
I see. That makes sense.
That's where it's at. I probably should just actually talk to him first.
Let's do this. But wait, who's going to judge the match?
Of course. Who else?
Rob. I like that he had a little sparkle going for him.
Hell yeah.
He was like, oh, obviously.
Your funeral.
Your funeral. Necromancers, am I right?
Anyway, that's
So
all we
are
have
we
for
out
this
of time?
episode.
Alright, so question of the day.
No more Starburst. Question of the day: do you hate it when people chew with their mouths open or eat Starburst?
Those are two different things. Or if they chew Starburst with their mouth open.
Oh no!
There's a special place in hell for those kind of people.
Real question of the day. Do
you think there's going to be a fair contest that because Jelly's judging it?
Probably not. He has a bias. But then again, maybe he's dead because of Ziggy. So I don't know. Nobody knows.
Oh.
But question of the day, I'd say the top down or bottom up design. It's the fact that there's no consistent behavior. Why is that good for the experience of the game? Because you clearly wanted it to be top down.
And then I was like, wait a second, that's not the solution.
But I think it's important that it's not reliant on that one strategy.
Starburst.
Bye, everyone.